my name is Donnie Ebenstein and welcome to the Perspectives vlog. Continuing the theme of conflict, I want to present a conflict situation and ask you, how would you respond? What's your intuitive reaction? Here's the scenario. Imagine that you and a colleague are scheduled to make a really important presentation at work. A lot of senior people will be there. It's very high stakes. You're going to do the first half of the presentation and they're going to do the second half of the presentation. At this meeting, you do your half. The first half goes great. You're doing a great job. You're connecting with the audience. It's wonderful. For the second half, when they're making their half of the presentation, it is a disaster. They're doing a terrible job. They didn't prepare, and it's really risking the entire project that you're presenting. Because you don't have a choice, you can't consult, it's happening in real time, you step in, you cover that part of the presentation, answer the audience's questions, and save the day. But you can also see your colleague is very upset. They're really angry. They don't feel good about it. Now the meeting ends. That's the setup. You know you now have this conflict with your colleague. What do? Let me give you a couple of options. There are many, but here's a couple of options. Do you, A, go right to that colleague right away, address what happened, talk it out, don't let it fester, let's nip this in the bud? Or B, do you let things calm down, don't deal with it right away, don't try to talk it through when everyone's blood is hot, let it cool off, maybe give them a chance to come to you and perhaps not even deal with it. If they're willing to let bygones be bygones, you can just let it fade away. Now, people watching this video may have different intuitions, which of those is the right way to do things. But my point today is not to take a position on which is the better way. My point is to simply point out that different people will have different gut reactions, different intuitions about which is the best way to handle conflict. And the reason for that is very simple. People are different from each other. We each have a different, what you might call a conflict style, a different natural, intuitive sort of comfort zone of how we want to handle conflicts. Now, if you encounter somebody with the same conflict style as yours, fantastic. You want to deal with it right away, they want to deal with it right away, and it can go great. But what happens when the person who wants to deal with it right away encounters somebody whose conflict style is the opposite? Let's let it cool off. It's too hot to handle right now. Not only do you have the conflict of what happened at the meeting, that can be made even worse because your conflict styles are themselves in conflict. And so what I want you to recognize is because people are different, when you're about to deal with a conflict and have that conversation, think not just about what your conflict style is, but what is the other person's conflict style? What would make them most comfortable in dealing with this conflict? It's not about which conflict style is the best one or the worst one. It's recognizing people are different and give thought to their style as well as yours.